Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the Hive with Miss Julie Birschbach. Yay! We're here for the first time ever having Julie do an awesome class with you on the Cards by Christine YouTube channel. She's doing her Be Creative class, and she started doing this class back in January as an in-person class, and she also does classes out of her home, which she can talk about that too if you're in the Chilton area. And starting now, because she's done with school, yay, she's on summer break. And I don't know, do I know if you're going back?
No.
You're not on summer break?
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Okay, fine. Okay, well, so Julie was on the retirement plan and then went out of retirement and then now is back into retirement. Okay, she's done. So she's going to be here, and her goal is to do the Be Creative class in person here in the Hive, one Wednesday out of the month, and we usually have it set up to be the second Wednesday of the month. And now what she's going to do is on the front end of it, she's going to make the cards live with you on the YouTube channel until she gets to the point where she's like, yep, I'm going to get my own YouTube channel. She might not, but we'll see. But she's always welcome to do her classes here in the Hive, and she's going to be doing 3 beautiful cards. And the cool thing is, and she'll talk about this too, how she kits them up, and if you are getting some of my classes, she can do consolidated shipping to help on that. And she had, maybe 6 or 7 of them that went out this month, or I don't know, over the last couple weeks, she's brought over a bunch of card packs, and so they get mailed out. So give her your support, you guys. It's kind of hard. Very, very hard doing your very first live about what do you talk about, and it's crazy, but she's a phenomenal teacher. She's done creative presentations for the events that I do, and I know she's super excited to be with you to share with the cards. And so like right here, I'm showing her, I don't know if your eyesight's good, but I need glasses to see this stuff, which I don't have on. But like Carmen Sanders is here, and Linda Krause is here, and Mary Carls is here, and Jenna Helms is here watching too. How exciting. Deanne Dawn from Minnesota, and Mary Novak, Melanie Foy. You've got some people that are going to be cheering you on, you guys. And if you need any help or questions, she's going to get familiar with watching the comments and making cards, and let's see how she's going to do. So without further ado, here's Julie Birschbach, and she's going to get right into the hot seat, you guys. Whoop, whoop. Okay. I told her I wasn't going to leave, and I'm going to hang around in case we need help with technology.
Thank you. I'm going to need that support.
Okay, and the other thing too you can do is bring this down just a hair so that you take up a little more of the screen there. So perfect.
So hi everybody. I'm so happy that you're with me, and I hope this goes well.
Me too.
Let's start. We are going to start with the first card. Let me flip the camera down so that you can see what it is, and then we're going to get stamping. If you have comments, please go ahead. Write them in there. I will try to watch them the best I can. Here we go.
Yay! Okay. See?
Okay.
Easy.
So this is our first card, and we are doing it with some awesome stamp. Let me grab that so that I can tell you all about that. I did use the arches here, which are wonderful. And on this one, I used the You Are Remarkable stamp set. That is what we used for all of the cards, okay?
So I have a beekeeper's guide around in case people, you want to show people in the
Sure.
Where did they go? I just gave them to Gina this morning.
Oh.
I wonder, here they are. So in case you want to show people anything in catalogs, you're
okay.
welcome to use these. I'll leave them set. You know what I generally like to do? I pull this out and I use it as an extra
Perfect.
perch. Okay.
Okay. All these tips and tricks, we'll get them. I also used the Happy Anniversary from Mixed Labels, and I used the With Sympathy on one of the other cards from the Mixed Labels. And what else did I use? Oh, from Happy Hibiscus, I used You Make Me Smile. Okay, so let's get started on the first card. I'm gonna pull everything out. So if you get kits from me, this is exactly what they're gonna look like. Everything is in your kit. So we're gonna set some of our little embellishment stuff off to the side. And we're gonna get ready to start stamping. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to fold and burnish your card. And on this one, there's a little flap, and we're gonna fold it back, and we're gonna actually burnish that as well, okay? Sometimes I like to stamp, and sometimes I like to do some, some assembling first. On this one, I'm going to assemble this first. And I'm going to just add this little piece right onto the side here. So let's grab the glue. I know, some people just wait till the end and glue everything, but I'm kind of different. I like to get some of those pieces off of my table so that they're not in my way. So we're just gonna line this one up here. And if you think I'm not nervous, you're really mistaken, because yeah, pretty much am. All right, keep
You'll know
moving.
how nervous you really are when you realize how sweaty your armpits are when you're done.
Oh, I'm sure my armpits will be sweaty. I should have brought deodorant along so that it wouldn't be so bad for the girls today at class. This inside piece, let me pull it out and show you. I didn't stamp anything in there because happy anniversary, and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to put in there. So on the inside piece, I'm just going to run this little piece of DSP right down the side, and I'm going to let it, and I'm going to be able to stamp whenever I would like to stamp, or whenever I feel I need the card, because you never know. So we're going to put it right along the very edge here. This lets me see how well I did on cutting paper. Oh man, I did good as long as I don't slide it. Looks perfect. If you want, you can go ahead and slide that into your card already, because you can always stamp later, or you can wait and put it in at a later date. I'm gonna just add it right now because we have enough photopolymer stamps that if I stamp with one of them, I should be good. All right. So now we have part of the card done already. And now we're gonna get to a little bit of stamping. On the arch, the white arch, we're gonna stamp with the Memento ink. And I'm gonna stamp the flower, the outside of the flower. And if you notice on my card here, I've got it kind of off to the side so that I can add the little bee up in the corner yet, okay? So I did kind of put it at an angle. I'm just gonna make sure that it fits on here. Just give that a little bit of time so that it can set and marinate. And then we're gonna grab some ink. I used Daffodil Delight for the flower. And I used, oh gosh, hang on, let me find it. I know I have it. I used Pecan Pie for this center, I think, or did I use, it looks a little darker. Let me check my notes. I don't want to lead you ladies wrong. I did write a PDF, which is not my favorite thing to do.
It feels like homework.
It is homework. I'm sorry, ladies. It is early espresso. There we go. So we got our flower stamped. And when I did this, I noticed that if I stamped the inside of the flower first, it made it a little bit easier when I tried to do the outside. So I'm gonna stamp that first, and hopefully I won't get my head in here too much for you guys. Don't worry, I got my hair colored, so if I did, we're good. All right, we're gonna put on the daffodil. All right, Jenna, what was your question? The name of the DSP. Of course I can. Hang on, girlfriend. Let me look. The DSP is from Floral Delights. And then the other one that I'll be using is the Mixed Media Floral, okay? So, let's get the flower here. I noticed with this flower that you have to really kind of take your time. And yep, I'm gonna get my head in here because I wanna line it up just right. Okay. And again, sorry if my head was there, but it's all good. Let's check what other color we used on this one, because some of them used different colors, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it just the way that I did for you guys, or on my pieces. Let's take a quick look. Old Olive. So, Old Olive, perfect. So Old Olive is what I used for the leaves. So we're gonna stamp on that one and line that up. This again, sometimes they're a little bit difficult to line up, but we do our best. It's a flower. It's all good. There we go, no problem. And last but least, we're gonna throw that little bee in there. And let me grab the bee. Stick him right up there. Okay, now to color the bee, I used my blends. And let me grab that for you. I used Daffodil Delight, okay? And I'm gonna use the dark just because I wanna make sure that I can see his body pretty good. So I'm gonna color just those little stripes in on my bee, okay? The last thing that I'm gonna stamp is the Happy Anniversary, and I'm also gonna stamp that in Memento ink. Oh gosh, let's see. I think I have a scrap piece. I should have brought a scrap piece along. I like to check to make sure. I'll use the back of this piece here. Sometimes, oh, it does stamp pretty straight. Sometimes with red rubber, it's kind of hard. They don't always stamp as straight as what we would like them to. Perfect. Okay, so all done with stamping. So before I stuff anything away, I'm going to quick clean up my stamps so that they're ready to go for later. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to clean up the flower too, because we're actually using different colors for the flower and also for the leaves of the flower. All right. The base is good. I'm going to use black for the base yet. Okay, so now what we need to do is, before we attach the two pieces together, I want to put this baker's twine around here, which is the black baker's twine. And I wrapped it around, I had to double check 3 times. But I did not go completely around. I kind of went back and forth, and I'll show you exactly what I mean on that, okay? So let's prep a little bit for when we get it going. I am gonna just flip this over and guesstimate. We're gonna go right about here. Okay. Now let's get that off of there. And this handy dandy little trick is starting here, going across, connecting it to the tear tape, bringing it right back around. And again, so we got it on there 3 times. 3 times is the charm. There we go. Perfect. Now I just want to snip the excess off. And I made sure everybody had plenty of it because we're going to tie a little knot with this, okay? Now I want to make my tear and tape sandwich on the back here. Okay. So this will set on here. And then we're going to actually put our label on here. But before we do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to show you how to make a little knot. So I took this piece and folded it so I had thirds, snipped them, and then before I attached the Happy Anniversary, I'm going to slide them under, and I'm going to tie them in a knot. Now, if you don't have enough of this black thread, you could easily just do 2 of them. I don't think anybody is going to know the difference. And then I'm going to just trim a little bit of that excess off. There we go. I'm going to attach this to the yellow piece, and I'm gonna take off the tear and tape on the back, which will help adhere it to the daffodil, the light paper. Okay. I just want to thank everybody for watching me, and I hope that you like these cards, and if you want to order any cards from me, any card kits, you can. Just let me know. I will put up my information for you. I think I have 4 of these kits left, and that's all. And I did make some extra ones this month, so that's a good thing. I like to have that problem. All right, I am gonna put on a few dimensionals here. And what I wanna do is I wanna be able to go over those threads. So I'm going to put my dimensionals close and nothing through the middle. So it's kind of like a little, I don't know, what do we call that? Valley? Gully? I don't know. All right. Okay, let's get that on there. Whoops, let's get those out of the way. All right. Perfect. Okay, so that's how far we are now. Now we need to attach it to the front of our card. So we have to be careful, and I did use dimensionals. So if you look, we don't want any dimensionals on here because otherwise, obviously, you're not going to be able to open your card. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a few here, and let me grab the larger ones. Perfect. And then what I usually do is I kind of lay it there, and I hold my fingers here so I kind of have an idea about how deep it's going to be. And then I can add some more, whoops, if I can get them off, dimensionals. If I add 3, I should be good. Okay. And take the backing off of those. I'm gonna have a little scrap pile. I forgot to grab garbage. That's okay. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here and line it up just like that. So that's what we have so far. Oh, don't forget our gems. We need those. Hang on here. I'm going to put one up here, a large one, and since I have a little one, I'm going to add it there. And I'm going to add one more large one right in here. Favorite thing left to do? Stella. So I'm going to Stella those petals on the flower. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. Okay. What do you guys think? This is card number 1. All right. Does everybody like that one? Is that a card that works? I thought it was pretty different. I usually don't do fun folds, or if you want to call it fun fold. So let me know what you think. All right, and we'll get started with card number 2. Here we go. Let me tuck those away. Card number 2. It's a petal pink one. Okay. The dies that were used from that were actually from the textured notes. The inside I left blank again, and I just put the piece at the bottom. Okay, so let me grab the card. You can look at the sample here while I'm stamping away. I will go back and check on comments, but if you want a kit, it would probably be a good idea if you would probably send me a text message or an email, just so that I don't miss your comments. I will try to go back and double check, okay? All right. In this kit, there are 2 white pieces, and they are both the exact same size. So you're good with whichever piece you would like to start with. we're gonna start, I don't know if you can actually see them, but if you look really close, I have some little, these little dots that came in with the stamp set. And I just thought it kind of helped break up the background. It wasn't so like just white, okay? So let's pull out the petal pink. Just hiding right here. And you don't need to stamp them all over because we will be putting this strip of paper off to the side like this, but yet you want to get enough of them in here to help cover it, okay? So I'm gonna start by just popping a few of these all over. And if you wanna do full strength, you can do full strength. You wanna do second strength on any of it, you know, it's your card. Make it how you want. I'm not the card patrol, so I won't come and say that you did it wrong, okay? Here we go. That's all I'm going to do on that one. And then I'm going to attach the DSP off to the side. So I'm gonna shut this up before I stick my fingers in there because I'm noted to do that. And I'm going to add my DSP off to the side here first. And I'm gonna also then just put it right on my card so that it's out of my way. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to fold and burnish. First thing. See, I forget things too. This I just glued down flat. So let me get that attached on the front here. There we go. Perfect. Oops, get my little embellishments out of the way. As long as I have the glue out, I'm going to glue this piece down at the bottom for my inside of my card before I go on and do some stamping, and then I can put it right in the inside and it'll be all set. Again, if you want to wait and you have a different sentiment that you would like to stamp in the middle or the inside of your card, you are welcome. You can change the outside of the card. If you don't like that stamp set, you can easily say happy birthday, happy anniversary, whatever you need the card for. Let's attach this to the middle. There. Now we have the inside done as well. Perfect. Okay. Whoops. Set that off to the side. These two pieces are from the Textured Notes. I believe that's what I had. Hang on. Yep, Textured Notes. So petal pink and the white. And so we're gonna just stamp our flower with the memento. Right in the center. This one I used a couple different colors on. I used a color that I really very seldom ever hear people use for the greens, and it might surprise you, but I thought it turned out pretty awesome. So we're gonna let that sit and marinate. And the color is Lemon Lime Twist, okay? I just thought it gave that, with the pink, I thought it gave it a really cool look. Okay, now that we have that stamped, again, I'm gonna start with the center of the flower, and this time we are gonna use the pecan pie because the pink is a little bit lighter and I didn't want quite the darkness that the early espresso gives it. Okay, here we go. That center in there. And onto the flower. Petal pink was my color of choice to match. There we go. Let that sit there a minute while I close up inks. Ta-da! Onto the lemon lime twist. I actually thought that was kind of a cool color compared to the dark ones. All right. Bear with me if my head is in there, but I just want to try and line this up best I can. Okay, I think I got it. Done with that color, done with that one. Okay, we'll let that set and marinate. While that's marinating a little bit, make sure that ink soaks in there. I'm going to stamp the You Make Me Smile with Memento. I'm going to stamp it. So what I did was I gave people the tag a little bit longer than what you needed, okay? So I'm going to stamp it in the middle. And then what we can do is we can trim the tag, the ends of the tag off to fit however you would like. And if you want it long, you can let it long. It works either way. Perfect. Okay. Let's see how the leaves turned out. Oh, they turned out good. I like those. Okay, now we just have to do some simple assembly. This is glued onto here, so we're going to glue that on. And then I'll show you how I'm going to do the banner behind the tag. Okay. Slip that right in the center here. Perfect. Okay. So for the banner on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my tag down a little bit because I don't want it hanging off quite that much on the side. I'm going to grab my paper scissors and I'm going to just snip off a little bit on the end here. And a little bit more. And a little bit on this side. Awesome. So that's about what I need. Let's get our little ribbon. If you look at the ribbon, one side looks shinier than the other. So make sure we get the right sides up. Cut my ribbon in half. And then, oh gosh, I found it. Tear tape. I have a habit of not putting things back in my little caddy, which I'm going to do it right now so it's there. And I want it right by the S in smile. So we're going to put that on there. Take that off. And then I'm going to put them on an angle. And yes, you have a lot of ribbon, but too much is better than not enough. So they're going to just be a little banner like that. And make my tear and tape sandwich. Perfect. I did pop this piece up, and I also popped this up. So we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of those right now before we add them to our card. Sometimes I get carried away with dimensionals. I'm over-dimensionalizing things, but who needs a saggy middle? I don't. So let's put those on there. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with the large piece, taking all those little tabs off. And as I was driving here, I realized that I forgot my July cards to show you guys, which really makes me sad because I worked really hard this week to finish them so that I could bring them along to show you. And yes, I forgot them. So I have a picture of 2 of them on my phone, so I will share that at least with you. Okay, and then I'm going to put the label kind of at the bottom here. And then I am going to trim my ribbon tails. So it looks like I have a little banner on that. And the last thing I'm going to do is add, oh, second last. I'm going to add some of these embellishments. And get them in there. There we go. I got one more hiding. And of course, I think you know what the last thing I'm going to do. Stella. We got to get her on there. It just makes the flowers look like they really pop. There we go. There we go, everyone. That is card number, oh, it takes me a while to get used to this. Card number 2. Okay. All right. How are we doing, everyone? Everyone's hanging in there yet? We have one more card to go. All right, let's get started. Blue. We're going to go on and make our blue card. All right, here we go. This one I made into a sympathy. And this is the inside. Sometimes I don't stamp anything inside my sympathies because I like to write my own messages. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Oh, you know what? I forgot to clean some of my stamps, and I better do that now before I have the wrong colors, and then it'll be not the same flower. There we go. Clean. That's always the job nobody likes to do. I don't. My stamping room sometimes looks like a disaster. Sometimes I have to clean before I can start stamping, so. Anyone else do that too? Like stamp a lot but forget to clean? I don't know. So, thank you, Polly. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna fold and burnish. And then put our embellishments and our bow. And yes, I do make bows for you ahead of time, so you don't have to do that. This is where we're going to stamp our flower. This is our sentiment, and I'll show you how I cut that to make it look like a flower pot. We're going to stamp the dots on there. I liked how they gave me the background difference. The front of the card, and these are the 2 pieces for the inside. I did stamp a little flower on the inside, so I have to try and remember to do that again. All right. So the colors we're going to use are Pecan Pie, the Balmy Blue, and the Old Olive this time. So let me get a few things out of the way. I'm going to put this one on here right away, and then it'll be out of my way. Then we can get right to some stamping. I liked the Balmy Blue as well. I thought that was just really pretty for a sympathy card. And guess what? You get to watch me fussy cut. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but either way, we're going to go with it. I'm going to start by getting on here those little dots again. And I'm going to do them in the Balmy Blue. All right. I am going to just double check here how dark they show up so I can decide if I want first strength or second strength. Oh, I like first and second. So I'm going to add some of these dots, and I'm just going to sporadically put them all over, even going off of the page, because I don't want it to look like it was like planned, I guess. I don't know. It'll, oops, I'm going to stamp that one off and get a little lighter. Perfect. So there we go. Close this up until I get my flower stamped. Move him out of the way. All right, on your scrap, we're going to stamp our flower in Memento. There we go. This one, all you have to do is just center it anywhere on your paper here, because we get to fussy cut that one. There we go. Yes, I use blue for sympathy. It usually works for male or female, so. And guys like flowers too, even though sometimes we tend to not send flowers to guys. Okay, don't forget, we have to stamp this flower on the inside here, just a little bit. I don't want the whole thing, but I am going to stamp it on there. And then I'm going to use this toweling here to get rid of my ink that's on the glass mat, because if I don't, it will be all over my card. This one we are going to go with the pecan pie in the middle, a little bit softer again compared to the early espresso. So, and we're going to put that in here, and we're also going to make sure that we do the inside at the same time, so that we only have to keep opening and closing our inks. All done with that. On to the balmy blue for the flower. As long as I've got the inside here, I'm going to put that one in there first. This one you have to kind of hover like right over, get really close to where you can see the black lines in order to line it up. That's what I've noticed with mine, that if I don't get close enough when I'm hovering over it, then I'm usually kind of off. So, carefully. I think this one might be off just a smidgen. Oh, not really bad. All good. And then on this one, we went with Old Olive for the greens. So let's grab that. Do this one first. Same with these. It's like I had to hover over them and just keep twisting and turning it a little bit until I had it lined up. And then I felt like I could get the greens and the colors in there where I needed them. Okay. Don't forget to stamp the little bit of greens on here. Yes, I still ink the whole thing up. I know some people don't, but I'm kind of like, I want to make sure I have the right pieces inked up when I need to. So it turned out pretty awesome. All right, let's clean up our ink on here, or we'll have ink all over our card as well. Perfect. Okay. So we can go ahead and we can get started with a little bit of, oops, I forgot one thing. We need to stamp the With Sympathy on here. And we'll be all done stamping. Memento ink. Let's practice to make sure that it's stamped straight, but I thought it did. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, I have to turn it a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna put it on there and we're gonna stamp it right in the middle. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to cut this in order to get, so that it looks like a flower pot. Okay, so for me, the easiest way was to go from this point down. So I'm gonna start at the top here and angle down. And then, in order for me to do the same thing here, I flipped it over. Only because, I don't know, I just couldn't comprehend doing it any other way. And that will give me that little flowery pot, okay? So, which you still have plenty of room with your words on there. So, all right. Before I fussy cut, let's get a few things glued down. Whoops, guess there was a dimension already back there. Whew. Silly guy. Okay, let's get a few things out of our way before we do some fussy cutting. This piece was definitely just glued flat because we're going to pop up the flower and we're going to pop up that pot. let's get that in there. And we're gonna just center this right in here on the front of your card. Set that off to the side. Let's put the inside here. A little bit of glue on there. The nice thing is you don't have to color your flowers with the blends because they made the beautiful pieces that you can just stamp it. And I like the way they made it where it's kind of like a little bit distinctive, so that worked pretty good. And let's attach that right to the inside, because again, photopolymer will let me stamp something and not have to worry that it's too crooked inside. Okay, that is all set. Now we need to, I can clean those up later, but now you get to watch me fussy cut. Okay, here we go, all set. Anybody else like fussy cutting? I do, but I don't. So we're gonna just go with the flow. And for me, the best thing is I like leaving just a little bit of white on there. I know some people don't, but I do. It just gives me that little buffer, I think, when I'm doing it. Gives me a little bit more. And I did kind of cut inside here by the flower, if you kind of see. Not all of it. But I try to wiggle my paper back and forth when I'm doing it. And you can cut in between as little or as much as you want. There is no right or wrong. So it's definitely your preference how much you want to cut. And if you do get close that you don't have the even white on all of it, nobody's gonna even know. People are just happy to get your homemade cards because they don't have to worry that they're gonna get 10 of them the same. I have had people send me messages saying, oh my gosh, my husband got one of your cards for his birthday and he thought that was the coolest thing because it was a homemade card and it wasn't one that was just factory made. So I actually made some cards this morning. I made Father's Day cards to send out to, not my father, to my son-in-laws, because you know what? Even though they're not my father, they're still celebrating Father's Day, and I thought it was important to let them know that they are thought about as well. And I definitely appreciate all of them. Okay, I'm getting there, guys. It's kind of a slow going process because I just want to make sure we got our flower cut out. My thought was to have this done ahead of time, but, and you know what, I probably did cut one out at home and it's probably laying right with my cards for July. But I live a half hour away from Christine, and I was almost here and realized I forgot my July cards, and I was like, too late, can't turn around, I did not have enough time. So, but if you are on Facebook, you can easily look for me on there. You can like my page, that would be amazing. And I will be posting pictures of my cards. And then you can message me or email me, whatever works best for you. If you are a texter and you really want to text me, I'd probably answer you the fastest with a text, in all honesty, because I do text. Sometimes too much, but it's okay. It's all good. All right, I'm gonna concentrate here just a smidgen because I want to get down into here. Sometimes I have to get rid of some of that overhang. There we go. Get some of that out of there. I feel like I'm trying to concentrate and it doesn't always work right. There we go. There are big enough areas if you do want to really cut down in here like this, you can. Sometimes I just come back and pick out that little piece. I wish they'd have had a die for this, but I guess because there's really only the one flower in the kit, that must be the reason they chose not to make a die for it. I'm not exactly sure. Almost there, ladies. Getting there, slow but sure. This stamp set that I'm using, Jenna, is called You Are Remarkable. And then I did list the other ones. Let me look if I've got them here. Hang on. Happy Hibiscus and also Mixed Labels was where I took some of the sentiments from. But the main stamp set is You Are Remarkable. All right, we're getting there. A little bit. The flower I did pop up, and I also popped up the flower pot. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, okay? So, let's get some dimensionals on the back of the flower. Get some little ones down in here. Sometimes when my dimensionals, my little dimensionals are too big, I will actually take my glue scissors and I'll snip them in half, which I know, but it gives me that little bit for on the leaf where the dimensional would have been too big. And then I'm going to put a couple large ones at the top. So that's how I did the back. Now, this is going to go over the top of it, but I'm going to use some little dimensionals, and we're going to put them up here in the corner and down here in the corner, because what's going to happen is my flower is going to actually go right behind it. So the flower will help keep up the center. And because the flower is going to slide back there, you don't want any dimensionals in the way. All right? So I'm going to lay down my flower pot where I want it, which is right about there, a little bit off the bottom. Just going to lay it there. I did not remove any of the backings from that yet, so that I can slip my flower right into the pot. Okay, a few more. Alrighty, now I'm going to just gently lift that up because I know right about where it was and get my flower in there. Perfect. And then I can put my flower pot over the top of it. Oops. And there we go. Making sure that our stem of the flower does not stick out of the bottom of the pot. That would not be a good thing. Perfect. Okay. And then if you take your little bow that I made for you, you can take a glue dot, and I like to just take it off of here and basically kind of roll it in a little ball. And I'm going to put it right here on my flower so that I can put my bow. Okay, and then again, I find my scissors. I can trim those tails to whatever length I want. So, all right, we have to put on, hang on, I have to put on my embellishments. I got a whammy. I got them. Okay. Whoa, that one flipped. Perfect. And then Stella again. I thought it kind of made this blue flower really, really pop. So, and I like that. But I also went to the inside and I thought, why not add a little more Stella? You can't have too much. And yes, even for a guy, for a sympathy card, this will be just fine. They need a little sparkle in their life as well. Okay? All right, perfect. So this is card number 3. Does anyone have a favorite? Okay, I'm gonna flip back to me. Anyone have a favorite? Okay. Personally, I like all 3 of them, but totally your call. And next month, I am going to show you 2 of my cards because I don't have the 3rd one on my phone. But let me flip down. I'm going to grab my phone out and I'm going to show them to you. So hang on. Let's get them. So this is the first one. So let's see if you can see that. That's the first card. Oh, I'm getting a little glare. There we go. And then this is our second card. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm still getting the glare. Perfect. All right. That is it. I have many of the things already set for that card. I have a pile of many things. I have a pile on my table of a lot of stuff that needs die cutting. So my husband came home yesterday and he said, do you need those things die cut? And I'm like, I do, but can you hold on till I have everything there? And then you can maybe run a couple things through at one time instead of each thing individually. So yes, my husband does a lot of die cutting for me, and sometimes he does embossing, but if it's really something that needs a lot of attention, then I will do that myself. Okay? So that is what I have in store for you for next month. So I hope you enjoyed my class. And again, if you want, I have I think 4 kits left. So if you want, either send me an email or you can send me a message. This is my, let's see, flip this down here. So here is some of my information, and this was from this month's cards. So my email is juliebirschbach@gmail.com. If you want to text me, my phone number is 920-849-2931. However it works for you, or you can message me. I would say email or texting is probably one of the best. And the cards are $19 for 3, $21 if they're mailed with Christine's items. I accept cash, check, PayPal, and Venmo. That is what I have for you ladies for today.
Yay!
I made it.
You
I
made
did
it. Okay, awesome. Don't forget to give her the thumbs up when you guys are watching the video. That helps to encourage it to get shared with other people. And do you have anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to teach Julie how to end the live.
That is all I have for you ladies for today. Or gentlemen, who's ever watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.